Juneteenth Day in Milwaukee. 52 years of celebrations.
We are the oldest Juneteenth celebration in the country.
The parade, the jubilation, and the meaning behind this year's theme.
Juneteenth is for every single person.
This day is how the world changed.
The importance for everyone to celebrate this historical holiday.
America isn't just one group of people, and the more we get in the practice of celebrating everyone's history, the stronger our country will be.
Plus, we're with the Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant winners.
I get to spread the Black joy and Black jubilee of what Juneteenth is all about.
This is a WISN 12 Live Project Community Special, Juneteenth Freedom Day Celebration, brought to you by the New Pitts Mortuary.
But we start with a breaking news update. Milwaukee police and fire responded to reports of a shooting at MLK and Chambers. That's right near Juneteenth celebrations. Our crew at this scene saw at least 3 ambulances on the road, and that road already blocked off for the street festival. We do want to give you some perspective on just where this is. The festival grounds stretch from MLK and Keefe down to MLK and Locust. Just 1 block north of that is Chambers Street. We are expecting an update from police around 6:45. You can watch that live on the 12 News Facebook page. And it really just is a sad end to a day of celebration and community. And that is why we are here tonight. We are here in celebration of Juneteenth. Good evening. I'm Kristen Pierce.
And I'm Derek Rose. We are here joining you tonight from the North Cotton Neighborhood House, the driving force really behind the big Juneteenth celebration each year here in the city of Milwaukee.
And it really, truly is massive. It's the 52nd annual Juneteenth Parade and Street Festival. It's one of the longest running celebrations in the country. The holiday commemorates the day the last enslaved people in the United States learned of their freedom in 1865. And throughout tonight's special, we'll explore the history behind Juneteenth and Milwaukee's long-running celebration. We'll also introduce you to some of the community leaders that are really carrying the torch for Milwaukee's decades-old Juneteenth tradition. 52 years.
Yeah, we're also going to introduce you to a woman marching as a clown in the Juneteenth parade for nearly 4 decades. And we will share her personal message to the children who see her and smile. And a popular drumline making its debut in the historic Juneteenth parade in Milwaukee, setting the tone along the route and in the community.
A lot to get to, but we're going to start with the excitement as the Juneteenth parade stepped off this morning, talking about the music, the family fun. It all started at 14th and Atkinson.
It really was a great atmosphere out here. We had dance groups, churches, and other community organizations going down Atkinson, ending at MLK and Locust for the opening ceremonies, as well as the family fun, which stretched for several blocks.
Happy Juneteenth!
Smiles, part of the thread tying this day together, along with joy, freedom, and fellowship.
Oh, feel like family. It's really nice, lovey. Everybody's out here having a good time.
This is really the true face of this city.
Oh, freedom over me.
A city with one of the oldest and largest Juneteenth festivals, a showcase of community and culture. The best of Milwaukee for the world to see.
You hear a lot of the negative stuff on the news, but when you come here and you can see like how so much is being celebrated right now, it's just it's really inspiring and it's great to see.
I'm from Washington, D.C., so this is my first time also in Milwaukee, so I thought this would be the perfect weekend to also experience the Juneteenth Festival, which has been so far filled with a lot of joy and love and community.
At the center of it all are the people, all people, where difference is embraced.
You see everybody from every culture celebrating Juneteenth, the freedom for our people.
The good thing for me is having peace, and we come out and enjoy one another.
And of course, there's plenty of food, but food is not just food. Here, it's family.
Our mother, who's like pretty much the head of all this, she's going through a lot. So for us to be able to just carry it on without her here, it's just joy for us. We're just happy to be able to do it.
And in every family are the little ones learning.
We're already working to make sure that the next generation knows about the history of this and knows about the celebration and the culture.
Making sure they are armed with the knowledge, the history, and the love.
A glimpse of the celebrations here in Milwaukee for Juneteenth. As we mentioned, Milwaukee has one of the longest running Juneteenth celebrations in the country.
Yeah, 12 News' Cyrus Sandlin shows us how the tradition started as well as how it evolved.
A decades-old tradition right here in the heart of Milwaukee, marking a pivotal moment in American history. On June 19, 1865, enslaved African Americans learned of their freedom in a day we now know as Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is a celebration of African Americans in Galveston, Texas, that came about after General Grover Granger came to Galveston and freed the slaves.
Dr. Robert Biko Baker teaches African and African diaspora studies at UWM. With a PhD in history, he studied Juneteenth extensively.
2 months after the end of the Civil War, slaves in Galveston, Texas did know, allegedly, that they were free, and Granger's order gave them a moment to get free. And a year later, they kicked off a celebration called Juneteenth that we're still celebrating today.
This celebration became a federal holiday at a pivotal time in our nation's history.
So much taking place after the George Floyd incident, and President Biden puts a national stamp on it.
The origins of Juneteenth in Milwaukee started decades earlier.
Milwaukee's Juneteenth celebration starts in 1971.
He says the tradition dates back to the Great Migration, when black Southerners moved to major northern cities in the early 20th century. What is it about Milwaukee that this tradition became so popular?
Well, Milwaukee's black population really starts to grow in the 50s and 60s. And so by the 1970s, you sort of have like a culmination of black success here. And Milwaukee used to have a tagline of being the best city in America for black people.
Milwaukee's Juneteenth gets bigger and better every year.
I've been going there since I was a child with my grandmother, and it's an intergenerational event. It starts with a parade, and there's music and food.
The event uniting all races. And it's not just for Black Milwaukee, this celebration.
No, of course not. I mean, just like black culture isn't just for Black Americans.
Baker says Juneteenth is a time to honor the past and celebrate the future.
America isn't just one group of people. And the more we get in the practice of celebrating everyone's history, the stronger our country will be.
Juneteenth is the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day was declared a federal holiday in 1986.
And that was Cyrus Sandlin reporting, and Juneteenth was made a holiday in 2021. Wisconsin has long prided itself on its abolitionist history, but the actual history of African Americans in our state is a little more complicated.
Yeah, according to the Wisconsin Historical Society, the earliest black people arrived in Wisconsin during the early 18th century as slaves of French fur traders. Slavery was officially outlawed in the territory that would become Wisconsin with the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. The Historical Society officials tell us that did not stop lead miners from the South from bringing their slaves with them when they worked in Wisconsin, even well into the 1800s.
And before the Civil War, several communities of black farmers from the South were established in Wisconsin, including Pleasant Ridge, Wisconsin. The community in southwestern Wisconsin became a haven for former slaves. Following the Civil War, census records show more African Americans moved to Wisconsin from southern states. Black men were given the right to vote by state referendum in 1849, although it was not actually implemented until 1866, following a lawsuit by activist Ezekiel Gillespie, seen here on your screen right now. While technically free, these new Wisconsinites still encountered segregation and prejudice in housing, education, and employment, and the effects of these injustices are still felt today.
And every year, the Northcott Neighborhood House also honors students who are making an enormous difference here in our community.
Yeah, the Juneteenth pageant honorees, we were talking about them. They're lovely. We got a chance to speak to them today after they were honored on stage for their achievements. Little Miss Juneteenth Day 2023 and Mr. Juneteenth Day Jr. 2023. Are you guys excited to be on the court?
Yes.
How does this feel?
It feels awesome.
How do you feel about being Miss Juneteenth?
Good.
How excited is your mom to be here seeing you on the court?
Happy.
Are you faking shy right now?
Miss Juneteenth
2023.
It inspires me to know that not just as an 18-year-old or a teenager can start, working in the community, but someone as little as 5 years old, as 7, as 8, can really work and start in making a change in what we call Milwaukee. Well, it's not my first time doing the pageant, it's probably my third, and so I put in a lot of work throughout. Even I was in the pageant twice pre-pandemic, and so I was very happy that my hard work paid off, and the fruits of my labor was definitely showing with being crowned. Very happy to see all my Black brothers and sisters feeling free in jubilee and celebration.
What does Juneteenth mean to you?
Juneteenth means to me it's a day to celebrate freedom and learn about your history and teach others.
Your son being Mr. Juneteenth Day Jr., how does that feel for you?
Oh, I was so excited. His sister was Miss Juneteenth last year, so I like, you know what, Mason, we're gonna put you in this year. Well, I don't want. I like, you can do it, dude. And he came out and he did his thing, and now he little Mr. Juneteenth. So I just wanted to teach them about their freedom and what their people was about, slavery and all that. And we're not free and we can do anything we want.
And what's your take on the celebration this year?
Oh, look, a lot of food, families out, the weather is nice, and we're gonna have a good time and enjoy it.
You mentioned food first, is that your favorite?
Yeah, because I'm hungry.
He's hungry, we're hungry, there was a lot of food, it was really good. And after the break, we're going to talk about the art and the artists of Juneteenth.
Yeah, we have the competition highlighting the Milwaukee's talent with a mission. Plus,
a popular Milwaukee drumline group marching in this year's parade, the unique path for one of its organizers, and the connection that the group is able to make with musicians of all backgrounds.
You're watching WISN 12's live Project Community Juneteenth Freedom Day celebration. Brought to you by the New Pitts Mortuary.
Art is a form of expression, right? And so we are sitting here as a community expressing ourselves in various formats, and so I think that's just kind of a beautiful addition to what has already been going on for so many years here.
for the second consecutive year, festival organizers had a special area for artists and their work. The organization True School sponsored the Juneteenth Arts and Culture area. They held a mural painting contest featuring some incredible artists and their work.
So many talented people. 6 teams went head-to-head painting their submissions live throughout the day here at the festival. True School organizers say it's another important piece of celebrating Juneteenth.
Arts are really at the center of everything, and especially in celebration of Juneteenth, being able to just have something that's so very interactive and accessible is, it's a good feeling. It's like a family reunion out here.
And that is what we've been hearing from so many people about that family reunion. The winner, Alexis Solis, took home $1,500. You can find all the winners featured on our WISN Instagram stories. And musical artists, they really showed off their skills throughout the parade.
Yeah, some of the most engaging parts of the parade are the marching bands, the dancers, and the drum lines. And this year, one drum line is new to performing in the parade, and its membership is truly a reflection of this year's theme, I Am Juneteenth. Their sound is their pulse.
It's one of them things that when you hear us, you don't see us, you feel us.
Every measure, every move, meaningful for...
We're called Milwaukee Hitters Drumline.
The Milwaukee Hitters. How did you come up with the name first?
We wanted a flair.
He perfected that flair in Florida.
My name is Jeremy Reyes, and I'm the director and co-founder of the organization.
At Bethune-Cookman University.
Man, I'm talking about, they're not even there for the football games. They're there only strictly to watch the band.
And he brought that beat to Milwaukee, igniting something special, attracting talent of all ages.
Well, I'm a recently retired individual. I turned 65 last October.
And abilities.
No experience necessary. No, if you're willing to put in the hard work, we're willing to put in the time to make sure you can understand the fundamentals of drumming.
Each member.
I'm Zoe Jordan, and I am a bass player.
Their own musician.
My name's Russ Trowicki. I play snare drum.
And personal path to this group.
Honestly, sadly, one of my friends passed away last year, and they played on the Milwaukee Hitters, and he was on the Bucks Beats too, and he inspired me to get back into music because he was real close to me. He loved music.
And I decided to maybe pick up drumming again, something I've done on and off my whole life. And I ran into the drumline, the Milwaukee Hitters, at Summerfest last year, actually, and they kind of reeled me in.
And it's hard to resist. They're in the zone.
You always hear a beat, and you like, oh yeah, it's grooving, you know.
And on a stage like no other. One of the nation's longest celebrations of freedom, Milwaukee's Juneteenth Parade.
As we've been growing, we're blessed to be in the parade this year and, you know, be a part of that big event. You know, we've always watched it and like, man, I want to be in there and stuff. And to be there is just amazing.
The reward for their rhythm, much more than music.
The friends that I made out of meeting everybody, the friendships that I made, because they're like the most unexpected.
Unexpected and unbreakable. A true heartbeat of harmony.
You just feel it. It's a kinship, and it's a groove thing.
It's a groove thing. Community groups like the Northcott Neighborhood House work to empower families and give children a safer place when they are not in school.
Yeah, we're joined live now by Tony Kearney, the executive director at the Northcott Neighborhood House. So many people often say they have never heard of Juneteenth before, but this is a long-standing celebration. Tell us about the tradition behind the holiday.
Well, traditionally here in Milwaukee, Margaret Henningsen went to Mobile, Alabama, and she experienced a Juneteenth, and she said, we need to have that in Milwaukee. So in 1971, we had our first Juneteenth celebration here. We've gone on to have 52 of them.
52, and some of the largest, one of the oldest here in the country. And this year's theme, I Am Juneteenth. For Tony Kearney, what does that mean for you?
For Tony Kearney, I am Juneteenth. I'm the descendant of slaves. And I've managed, based on what those slaves struggled through, to be me. To be able to do anything that I wanted to do because they made the sacrifice. Had they not endured all the pain and suffering that they did, we wouldn't have the situation we have now.
How did the Northcott Neighborhood House get behind this movement?
Well, Northcott was always behind the movement. Joe Winston, who was the executive director at the time, along with MacArthur Whittle, who was the associate director, just stepped in and said, hey, we're going to continue to do this. But again, the idea was brought to Milwaukee.
And now we are 52 years later. That is amazing, an incredible history. Thank you, Tony, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. Still ahead here on 12 News, this Project Community Special celebrating Juneteenth. The story behind Mom the Clown, who's been making families smile for nearly 40 years.
Yeah, her message for the children who see her march in the Juneteenth parade year after year. Back out here live at the Northcott Neighborhood House, the Milwaukee Juneteenth Parade has been around for more than 50 years, and one woman has made it her mission to make everyone smile for 39 years.
Yeah, almost 4 decades. Mallory Anderson introduces us to Mom the Clown and shares her message for the children who see her and smile.
She may look a little different than the moms you know, but her mission to make others feel warm and happy is the definition of a mother's love.
Stay safe and healthy. That's my tagline right now. Stay safe and healthy, because that's what we want the children to do.
The origins of Mom the Clown date back to the 1970s and a pivotal moment at Milwaukee's Juneteenth Parade.
When I came to Milwaukee in '78, I realized that I went to Juneteenth and there were no clowns, none, zero. How do you have a parade without a clown? So I decided that I was going to become a clown.
After attending Clown College, Mom the Clown returned to the Milwaukee Juneteenth Parade for her first ever official appearance. This is a photo from that day in 1984.
My first performance was at Juneteenth. That's how I know it's 39 years. And we had a booth. And the booth was, we sold balloons and I face painted for free.
At the Juneteenth parade, Mom the Clown forgoes painting her face white. That's so children of color can see a clown that looks just like them.
You could see the pride in their faces go, there's a clown. Because our children don't get that exposure to clowns of color. Being inclusive is very important. Diversity is important, and we should all just go ahead and embrace it.
While Juneteenth was only recently recognized as a federal holiday, Milwaukee has honored the day for decades. It's a legacy to be proud of.
Milwaukee has had a parade and honored this day for decades. What is it like to know that Milwaukee's kind of always had that in the forefront, even when others weren't really thinking about Juneteenth?
I'm not from Milwaukee originally. I'm from Chicago. And when I came here, I became part of a movement of bringing Milwaukee even further forward for the community. So knowing that I was joining something, participating in something that was already established and well received by the community, it was a reason to continue being part of it. I'm very proud to be part of it.
Reporting in Milwaukee, Mallory Anderson, WISN 12 News.
Another example of how representation matters so much.
Absolutely. Just so passionate in finding her own lane and sharing her passion and her talent here with the entire community. We are back in a moment with the other Juneteenth celebrations across Southeast Wisconsin. Stay with us.
Before we go, we want to show you some of the other Juneteenth celebrations. In Racine, crowds gathered Saturday at the Dr. John Bryan Community Center.
And Black on the Block gave away 200 bikes for Juneteenth this weekend. Organizers say the giveaway is about community and keeping children healthy. We want to thank you for joining us this evening, honoring an American holiday and tradition here in Milwaukee.
A day to remember the fight for freedom and the progress still ahead. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for watching WISN 12's live Project Community Juneteenth Freedom Day celebration. Brought to you by the New Pitts Mortuary.